All right, we are going to.
How's that feel?
Good. Watch out for that cord, by the way. We are going to start here today with another episode of Ignorance is Not Bliss. All right, so I wanted to start out with the first subject of today. Our previous episode, which we just released, was on antinatalism, and something that I saw earlier this week was as of earlier 2026, women hold a slight majority of non-farm payroll jobs in the United States. Latest data as of February-March 2026, women make up slightly over 50% of total non-farm payroll employment, around 50% per BLS tables.
What does that mean?
That it means there are roughly 200,000 more women employed in these jobs than men. So there's still men still make up like contract work, I guess, but it means that there's more women like on payroll, yeah, in companies or whatever. There's more women in the workforce than men.
Does that mean that there's more male owners?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just said that there's still more men in like the contracting world, like it's separate, but
as in business owners.
Yeah, in corporations.
If there's more men owning businesses to put these women on payroll.
Yes, that is true, but I'm just saying,
Or are they
building off the topic in our last episode, how I was saying that the West is...
We need to have less women with jobs.
We need to have less women with jobs. This is not good, actually.
Fuck those bitches.
Those bitches need to stay home and raise the kids.
What is your deal about... What if it's just a change in dynamic of life?
Are you trying to rationalize this?
I'm just saying...
The option is clear here.
What if our option is that you could still have kids, but then men get to stay at home?
I don't know. I think that obviously there's going to still be like a lot of women in the workforce. And I think, with modernity, like there's still roles for women.
Because we discussed
And I think that once you have kids, I think you should go out and do some work. And I think you can still have a career later. But our focus should be on changing the tax system and making it so that women don't have to work and the man can work.
Here's the thing, though, as we discussed in the last episode, men being involved in raising the kids is more important, actually, statistically.
Later in life, so 0 to 5, women play a big role. After 5, actually, the child.
So 0 to 5, women
more
stay
benefits
home.
from the father.
Work. From 5 on, men stay home. Women work.
So I don't know if that means men stay home. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It means they play a more important role in shaping the children.
I think
especially in the creation of empathy.
I feel like we've built a society that's
so
safe enough.
Do you think it's overall a good thing or a bad thing that there's now more women?
That I should be able to stay home?
No, that there's now more women in the workforce. Like, do they hold the majority?
Personally, I'm single, so I don't give a shit.
Workforce is gonna. Workforce just simply means you're on payroll. So people like us who are self-employed don't count, but we're still working full time.
Yes.
Actually,
so that doesn't necessarily mean that there's more women working.
No, I'm just saying that this is the first time in history that women on payroll. So it's still a significant number. That's a lot of women on payroll jobs.
I'll give you my honest opinion. Okay, being single, all right, I see most of my women in my daily life. So if there's more women out there working, then I get to see more women every day.
Only when you're getting your fucking spray tan, dog.
No,
why are you orange?
I'm tan as
How are we supposed to have kids if all the women are focused on their careers?
You just impregnate them.
I'm just gonna drop a clip when I get home.
All right. Well, I just wanted to let everyone know. I thought that was a very interesting statistic because it just it ties into what we were talking about in the last episode. And I do think it is kind of a problem. So, anyway, the next subject is
Moving on from that already.
Well, do you have it?
That was quick.
That's how I am.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So if you look back to say the 1950s, it was basically single income. So, but I think we had a much lower standard of living. So the average person lived in a home that was, 2-bedroom, 1 bath with a piece of shit kitchen. It was 900 square feet and no garage, and they had 1 car.
Yeah.
And it was a 1 income family. So I think part of the issue is that we insist on having a more luxurious lifestyle. And that's part of the reason why we have two-income families now,
Interesting.
or women.
What is that sin?
But that's only, I think, part of the equation.
Gluttony? Like excess? Is
But
that...
if you look back in the 1960s,
Or
also, you
like
could have a minimum wage job, put yourself through college was simply a minimum wage job. But I mean, it gets a little more complicated than that. So if you look at the two things that are raising in cost, inflation the most, it's medical and it's university. And medical is a little bit different in that the subsidy is a large component of that, but university should be going down because the information age. We can get all the information we need out of a computer on YouTube, and we can get a college degree. It should cost $10 to get all the information you need,
Do you think,
or $100 or $1,000 or something like that. But it's growing exponentially because it's kind of a
well, the
scam.
value of it though? Like a college degree, when you got a college degree like 20 years ago, not everybody had.
To me,
bachelor's degree.
30 years ago, it had value, and you can make yourself
Like now you
in the
can't just-
workforce and make 50% more than somebody who didn't have a
Now
college
it doesn't
degree.
make much.
Now
of a
it's certainly not the case, and with AI, it's going to get to the point where
I
the
think-
college degree is more useless than
I think
us
at a-
working physically with our hands
at a certain
and
point,
fixing homes and things like that.
university became like a business rather than like education.
Absolutely. So I mean,
It's just
there
how
could-
many people can we get in and pump through?
counselors
to
are
collect
convincing
food?
students to get a degree in some sort of mental masturbation, underwater basket weaving, gender studies, that kind of crap, and it has no value when they come out of that university. But they have a six-figure, debt that they can't bankrupt. That's the worst kind of debt you can possibly have.
Yeah,
So there is an element of scam to that.
yeah.
All right, any closing thoughts on the subject? Evil Jamie?
I think they did great.
Well, all right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was I recently saw, like, this is a little off topic. It's not really been coming up recently, but I saw that, like, there's been a recent rise in tick-borne diseases in the U.S.
Dude,
Tick-borne?
I just watched a Wire Files episode about this is fuck.
Like just one.
No, so the tick diseases came from Nazi Germany. It was a scientist who was really into this whole like we're gonna fight these wars with like fucking little animals and we'll put diseases in them. They studied like this is actually there's evidence. People can go and watch the Wire Files episode about it. But they brought this Nazi scientist over from after the war, and then he started doing work at some place, I forget what state it is, but then they had a leak and now it's been spreading and it's like the East Coast is fucked.
So
And they'll have that's where Lyme disease came from.
The U.S. government created Lyme disease, so I have that information.
That's
So I was
not- that's
gonna.
Wasn't it like
Nazi
Lyme,
science.
Connecticut or something like that?
Yes.
It was named after the
Yes, it was
city.
named after the city that it outbroke in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
So
And
the
it's
reason,
not yeah, dude. That's,
the reason we were making it. Let me find.
well,
it.
they're little resilient little insects and they're hard to kill and they're small, so you could just drop them over the enemy.
Yeah, so they were trying to were trying to put them in little pods and cluster bombs, and then you could drop them over the enemy. So they were kind of a covert weapon. And there's theories they might have used them on like Cuba because they're one of their main incomes was sugar, so they could drop them on all the farmers and then kill all the farmers, and then it would fuck their economy. So they might have actually used them on Cubans, but.
Dude,
It's
there's
just so fucked because exactly what happened. The ticks lived and now it's everywhere. It's just like the fucking coronavirus.
There's so much other.
We fucking made the COVID.
There's so much other.
So yeah, when he said it, it's right. I could read it, but basically we researched at a facility, right? We were researching tick diseases, and then we're denying it to this day, right?
Well,
Right where Lyme disease started was right where we were researching airborne tick disease.
it was like agricultural.
And you literally
disease
see the
at
map,
first.
and it starts and it spreads out from there, and that's where Lyme disease comes from. Now, the argument against it is that Lyme disease is an ancient virus. It's thousands of years old. and that's why like we didn't create Lyme disease. But yeah, you were sticking it in fucking ticks to make bombs, and then a couple of them got out because they're fucking tiny creatures.
I think,
and then they spread it everywhere else. So yes, they didn't create Lyme disease. It's an old pathogen, right?
No, but it was genetic.
I've never heard this one.
It was genetic
Yeah,
modifications, though.
But
Have you heard that?
No.
They were doing
Go again,
genetic
whiskey
shit,
now?
so I think they actually created it.
So yeah, fuck the U.S. government. I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. Y-Files.
I'm gonna go for beer.
I do remember they made a vid, but I recently watched a vid from a guy called Oompaville. I wanted to shout him out. He makes super good videos, and he was talking about Lyme disease because I think one of his family members or someone he knew was affected by it. So
It does fucked up shit. It like paralyzes your limbs and stuff, and like
You know what's crazy? It's like
really fucked up.
like Lyme disease in human beings. I actually just looked it up the other day. They say that it's like not that bad. You can usually get rid of it with antibiotics, but for like a lot of other species like dogs and stuff, it's like
Well,
fake.
so part of the benefit was it would go and attack like cattle or livestock,
It's a fucking
and
nightmare to drink.
the government needs to
so it would affect, like if you dropped it on like an enemy territory, it would not just affect their people, it would also affect like their food supplies and stuff with their their effects.
So yeah, a bunch of animals are dying too.
So side note for that, that's why it's recommended. I got bit by a tick once, which I freaked out and threw it out the window like a dumbass. But if you ever get bit by a tick, you're supposed to save it and go and take it in and get it tested to make sure that it doesn't have anything that you now need shots for.
They can. So
They can
the
test
only way to
anything.
prevent Lyme disease to get it tested early,
I think, dude. I
or you just
think.
fuck.
I think part of the, maybe I'm
In
wrong.
human beings, they usually say that if you just get antibiotics, it's fine and it's not going to hurt you. But there is
If you don't do anything, though.
Can you Google is early detection like the best course of action?
Early detection is the best course always for anything. But
I mean, fuck vaccines on a normal basis, but if you get bit by a tick
Well-
and they got the cure, hit that shit.
I
I'd say
also-
try it.
I also got bit by a dog in a place where
Southeast Asia.
So the thing with ticks though is they can carry other diseases besides, like Lyme disease is a specific thing that they're carrying. It's not like just native to ticks. Like it was introduced to ticks. It's not just a tick disease. It's something that they added to them. But they're bloodsuckers. So they
Is there
can
actually
carry
proof of
other
that?
diseases too.
Is there actually proof of this?
Yeah, you should watch the.
There's-
I'll send you the
yes,
video.
there's
It's
Is it the Y-Files?
no, there's Oompaville and Y-Files.
The problem is if you create something scientifically, then you can find it. You know what I mean? So like other scientists are like, hey, this is the exact thing
So
that they were testing, and now
Oompaville-
we're finding it in these ticks.
well, okay, so
you know.
between 1985 and 2019, only 11 people died of it. So that's pretty low.
Yeah.
No, but the rate of people getting Lyme disease is growing by like 300,000 each year.
I thought it was.
So it's spread. So even if it's not like a deadly disease, it's something that's spreading.
It can still-
and
I
affects
thought it
people.
lasted a long time
Like-
because they dealing
Well,
with this
if
for
you
decades.
if you
Like
ignore
chronic
it,
fatigue.
right? If it's ignored, I think, and it probably affects people differently. Everybody gets affected by different shit depending on like your immune system. Or whatever.
So in the in the Oompaville video,
What is the
I
actual
watched, she
disease?
referenced
Like-
these mothers. These two mothers were keys to this evidence, and their whole neighborhood got sick with like this Lyme disease shit, pretty much.
Dude, they were doing other
Because
shit.
they were right next to the lab, and like all the doctors were like, the doctors, because it's a new disease, so the doctors couldn't figure out what the fuck it was, and it wasn't like COVID, so it wasn't killing
They
people.
didn't know what they were looking
So
for.
everyone's like, you have diabetes, you have this. And the moms are like, what the fuck is going on? Like, our whole neighborhood has the same shit. Like, shit is fucked up. So they started collecting their own evidence, their own reports from all the doctors, from everyone in their neighborhood.
Well,
And they figured out pretty much like this was a new
Yeah.
disease. This was something happening to everyone there. And
Well, so dude, yeah.
well, let me continue. So yeah, like there is evidence, and it's not. And like I said, the government denies it because they fucking made it. But the government should fucking admit what they did, and that everyone who gets fucking Lyme disease
Right.
should fucking get paid for it, and it should be a top priority of the U.S. government to fucking find a cure for this shit. Y'all fucking made it a weapon.
Okay.
that released.
Our government's
I
done
will
some
say-
pretty shitty things.
I will say one thing that I'm not like a huge fan of Israel, but
Okay.
the Mossad tracking down these fucking psychos years after the war was over, like Mossad will do that. They'll find these scientists that were because America unfortunately took in thousands of scientists and changed their identities and reduced and would basically say you're now with us and we'll make sure that you don't have to pay
It's for the Cold War.
programs."
For the Cold War. The
Yeah.
Russians were doing it too.
But Mossad
Are you talking about the German scientists after the Second World War?
Yeah.
after
Right.
the Nazis,
Yeah.
took
Yeah, von Braun.
tons of
Von
scientists.
Braun was actually the head of NASA.
Yeah, we were talking about it in
Yeah.
the first episode. You
Yeah.
know,
The dude who created this tick disease was like a guy who was doing insanely evil shit over there.
Yeah.
Like he had a whole building where he was like torturing
Isn't that
them.
crazy? Instead of killing them, we hired them.
Well, yeah, but then Mossad's saying, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna come find your ass. Even you think you're safe now, we're gonna come and kill you.
You know what's crazy?
So I would say, well, that's like pretty cool that they do that.
You know what's
They
crazy
do
too?
that, and I will, if any of our tax money goes towards that, I'm alright.
I think that at the end of it too, like they did an investigation into Lyme disease, and they used the guy who was at the weapons research making it to say that it's not made at the weapons place. So once again, we're gonna have another.
It's like another code.
It's
thing.
another like, oh, this crazy thing happened, and it's like, let's have Hillary Clinton make sure that Epstein's fucking not dead. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Are you
Make sure that they'll send Nancy Pelosi to make
So
sure
I'm
nobody's getting rich on stocks.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure 10 years later they had that same Nazi guy because he's the head tick researcher guy in the world. He's like one of the best
He
guys.
was studying this shit before he came.
Yeah, so that's why they hired him because you're like, we're trying to make a
Well, he led
weapon
He
with
led an
bugs.
entire like
So
factory.
then they're like, let's find the best bug guy. That was the best bug guy. And then so 10 years later, they're like, hey, let's ask the best bug guy in the world how this Lyme disease happened. And then he was like,
Yeah, it wasn't-
oh, it just came out of nowhere. I was like, bro.
How do you control that? If you're dropping a bunch of ticks somewhere,
They were
to
doing
create a massive problem.
Hold on, okay, we're gonna move on to the next subject.
Well, but there's a whole. It goes even deeper though. It
We're
wasn't
gonna
just,
go
it
to the
wasn't
next-
just ticks. Like they're spraying shit in the air to see how it would affect people. Like they were doing massive like tests on civilians.
We're gonna
Like
do
the CIA,
Like DDT?
like weird shit. And supposedly it's still even happening. There's a video I saw recently of this lady who went and was like yelling at these pilots. She tracked down the pilots that were spraying over where she lived. And they're spraying like this stuff in the air. It's like heavy metals and stuff. Like she went and gets it tested. It's
You're
like
talking about the contrails?
yeah. And so she went and tracked these people down. It's like you guys realize you're fucking killing us. And they're like, oh, it's not. You have to go talk to this other person. That's not our job or whatever. So it's probably still happening.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next subject. But if anyone wants to look that up, the facility was at Plum Island Animal Disease Center off Long Island near Lyme CT or Fort
Can I
Detrick
get it now?
MD. So that's why it became called Lyme, is because it was near
Yep.
Lyme. So the next subject I want to bring up was there was some raids this week on the Quality Learing Center. And everyone's favorite game
Time.
So yeah, there
Did
was
they shoot anybody?
there weren't any kids to shoot, so there was no one
There
there.
were like people.
So they were all empty.
Pirates or anything?
Well, the thing about women and children is you don't have
I
to
don't
beat
know.
them as much when
I
you're
don't
shooting.
know. There wasn't any footage that's come down from the raids. I mean, they happened this week, but I'm sure something will come out later on this spring. But they raided 20 places one morning, and one of the places was the Quality Learing Center that Nick Shirley covered in his video.
Was
It
he there?
literally had learning spelled wrong.
Was he there?
That's how you know
No,
it's a
the FBI didn't
How
tell.
in the fuck can one guy
They should let
in
him
his early
go.
20s discover all this shit when the government can't?
They can't.
That is insane. The reality is the government
They
knows
knew.
the shit is going on.
They knew.
Obviously. So
And now they're trying
they
to
must be
take-
getting money funneled back to them from all the corruption.
Yeah, did you hear about
Probably.
AB 2624 in California?
Yeah, the,
What's the last one?
the stop Nick Shirley Act.
They just passed a bill that now.
They passed it?
Yeah.
Oh, those
They
cocksuckers.
passed it, and essentially what it is that you can't talk publicly about things that involve immigrants. It's more specific than that.
But it's medical,
But-
How about
Medicare,
fuck
Medicaid.
you?
What was
It's
the
like
first
it's the-
amendment
it's the
right?
AB 26.
And we have
It's
a
the
whole-
three.
hold on,
It's
hold
the
on.
three freaking things that are the most corrupt. The three topics. It's like
We have a
Medicare.
whole episode on it. If you guys want to know more about it, you should check out our first episode. But pretty much, it makes it illegal to investigate this stuff and post it online.
Yeah.
That's the summary of it. It's
I would do it anyway because it would bring a lot of attention.
people
to
need
it.
to do it anyways.
But real
They need
quick-
to do it anyways.
Real quick to add to the story, and then you guys can keep going on the commentary. So right after it happened, there were the 20 raids, and then Tim Walz made a tweet. So let me find. Yeah, he tweeted this day after the raids happened. This motherfucker who knew about this shit. If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you're going to get caught, and that's exactly what we saw today. We catch criminals when state and federal agencies share information. Joint investigations work, and securing justice depends on it. So Tim Walz is trying to cover his fucking ass
Personally, I
and
think
stay out of jail. I think.
It's kind of crazy.
I think Minnesota being a state is evidence that states should have the right to just like not associate with other states, like entire states, because those fuckers are nuts over there. I mean, maybe not the majority, but they voted him into office.
I
They
wonder-
got that shit going on. So there's like the smart people there are sleeping right now.
Can you
they're
believe
on
that
vacation.
guy almost became vice president?
Can you look up what Kash Patel tweeted back to him? Because I think Kash Patel replied to him, and he said you had nothing to do with the investigations. So he literally just lied too.
Are you talking about in medicine?
Are you saying that a Democrat lied?
If Cash
No
Patel,
way.
if Cash Patel,
That never happens.
if Cash Patel actually tweeted that, he just won some.
What'd you
points
want?
with me.
Look up what Kash Patel and tweeted back to
So
Tim
I
Walz
wasn't a huge fan of him
during
but
the recent raids. If you ask Brock, it should come up. I'm pretty sure Kash Patel did tweet to him and say that had nothing to do with it. But pretty much, and like the own city said, because like it's a super Democrat city, right? They were like their own city tweeted, "There's some recent raids going on. We don't know what's going on." So it's like it was not a joint investigation. This was all a federal raid.
How much federal money?
And
is
Tim
this?
Walz literally just tweeted out trying to take credit for it. Like, it's so crazy. He just
What a
took
fucking
blame
lame sack
line.
of shit.
Oh, it's
What a
disgusting.
fucking retard.
I can't wait for justice to come, and I hope it comes swift and fast, and I hope we arrest all.
And I think we need to thank Donald Trump for calling him a retard because that really brings that word back into our normal.
Dude, I want the R word to come back so badly.
It's
But
not.
Donald Trump did it.
It's not
greatest
offensive
accomplishment.
to actual retarded people.
No.
No, because people downstream actually refer to themselves as retarded.
Yeah, well, you're not
No.
saying like you're actually mentally disabled. You're
No,
saying like
you're calling
just
somebody
really
the
fucking
ultimate in
stupid.
stupidity.
Yeah.
I don't think it disparages people who are actually downstream.
No, it has nothing to do with them actually. Those people are now described as neurodivergent too, so we're safe.
They were just essentially. I don't know if I see the exact tweet that you're talking about because I'm just looking it up on Claude here. But they're just essentially saying that they caught a rate of their behavior and reported it.
Where's the tweet?
Which
Is it a fake tweet? Fuck.
that would be pretty funny.
I look at on X. I don't know if it's something good. But, anyways, and then I'll look it up, and if I find it, I'll bring it back.
Hey, I just did a pause symbol with my hand. You're gonna have to go and edit.
So then the next subject I was
I
going to
just
bring
did
up,
this
Yeah.
in the video. Find that.
which was tied to it as well,
I said his name.
which I just lost my notes, so I'll have to pull them back up, but I can remember this much. It was about Ilhan Omar recently changed her wealth from $30 million to $100,000.
Something like that. So it went from 100,000 to 30 million and then back down to the same number. So where did that money come from and then go to?
Yeah, and then her husband shut down the winery all of a sudden, which
Which didn't actually exist.
So
It was an address with nothing there.
another Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar, both Minnesota representatives, where 300,000 Somalis live, and this fraud is all happening. Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar obviously know each other very well. They're totally in on this fraud. And
Do you think that the fraud was able to happen there? Do you think? Okay, so my question is it happening more here, or is it happening more there?
I think probably
California,
here.
it's having percentages.
It's just a
California-
numbers game at that point.
California is such a bigger state in terms of
Do
population.
you think we
and
have?
also-
Do you think we have
monetarily, we have-
more people to like?
Oh yeah, it's like full on like mob bosses essentially.
So I think they're speculating that maybe 25% of what we spend governmentally is actually fraud. A quarter.
Wait,
They were saying
25%?
that 28 days out of the year that's tax earning.
Goes towards fraud.
Yeah, it's, exactly. So
It's like 1 month out of the year, your
your
income
total
just-
income just
your total income goes to fraud.
Yeah,
Which I think is probably fairly accurate.
I think the how much they tax too is in itself fucking bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean it's
Like income tax and then sales tax. and
high
then property tax.
wage earners pay a disproportionately large amount of income tax as compared to low income earners who pay actually absolutely nothing. But it's also investors and things like that. They can swindle their way around and not pay anything. Like real estate, you can make shitloads of money in real estate and just move it around like 1031 exchange.
Or
So you can have a shitload of money and a gain, and you just move it to the next one, and you make another big gain. You borrow money against it,
you have a
and you
shit-
live on the money that's borrowed, and you pay zero in income tax for your entire life. You could be making tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars if you play your game right and pay absolutely nothing. Which is a great idea, and like we should go into doing that.
Actually,
so
High wage earners get butt fucked.
quick,
Low wage earners end up getting subsidized.
quick statistic that I wanted to
so
throw
you
in.
either need to have no income and 8 kids, or just a shitload of assets and no income,
I guess.
or you're fucked.
I don't know.
Okay, quick statistic I want to throw in too because I saw this and I had to look it up, so I asked Rock if it was real. But the tweet said Somalis contribute a negative 1.3 million to the economy on average. Somali immigrants per person.
Throughout their lifetime.
Contribute to what? Wait, what the fuck?
A negative number, $1.3 million throughout their entire lifetime.
The
So-
government's paying
like-
subsidies or something.
So currently, it's like if you've been here for 10 years, you're Somalian. 80% of those people are still on government assistance. They're not actually contributing.
Nice.
They're contributing nothing.
So,
Except for fraud.
so to follow it up, exactly like Mr. Fucker just said over there.
well, what's really
80 to 90% of Somali households with children have very high welfare participation.
well, okay. So hold on. So we're
So that's the very high end. That's the worst of the worst. Could be about 1.3 million. On average, it's a little less, I think. So I looked it up and I was like, that's crazy. But it's still, I mean, that honestly, I bet it's like, yeah, it's so ridiculous though.
well. The
I mean,
weird
they're
thing.
incredibly stupid people.
No,
I
but
mean-
okay. So hold on.
Even
So
if it's 800,000 negative, fuck you. Get the
if
fuck out of my
they're
country.
being accused of being so stupid, how the hell are they pulling off a fraud unless they're just a figurehead for it?
They're just a
That's-
they're just a
That's an
voting
excellent point.
Yeah.
Because I think I think what's happening is Democrats in particular are using these people, and then they're funneling a lot of that money back to their campaigns.
Fuckers.
So
That would be
Yeah.
insane if the paper trail went that far. It's like you're just looking at a bunch of offshore accounts and like goes straight to
So a lot of the money that they found
What's
actually getting funneled back
What's
to
that?
Somali itself.
What's that YouTube? about?
Like,
That's what I'm saying. So who the hell is the person in charge of that one?
I don't know. I mean, the corruption
The
runs
files.
pretty deep.
The accounting files one.
Oh, the Panama Files. Yeah. So then the next subject I wanted to just bring up
You
was
should change the
James Comey was also indicted. No, I mean it's kind of like also adding on to this, but James Comey, the former FBI director,
Oh, yeah.
was indicted as well.
What to say?
I'm just bringing up. This is all kind of tied in because
See,
it's all about justice is finally fucking coming. Everyone's been asking Trump. This is what people are mostly pissed off about. Why aren't people getting arrested?
I think he held off on a lot of this stuff to feed into the midterms. And I think a lot of the voting fraud from the 2020 is going to start coming out right before November. So I think
That'd be sick.
I think there's a lot of the shit that's it's all delivered. They delayed it and delayed it and delayed it so that it would come up right now. Because people have the attention span of a gnat. So if it comes out right now, if it comes out 6 months before an election, they'll forget about it before the election, by the time the election comes around. So it needs to all be coming out
Like a
and
couple weeks before.
So
Yeah.
he fired
weeks and months before.
He fired Van Bondi, he hired this new guy, and all of a sudden shit started going. So I think she would use Pam Bondi to kind of cover for the Epstein files, and she was going to take the fall for that because, just let her get fucked, get her reputation fucked. And now bring in the new guy, and now they can't be like, look how she handled the Epstein files, she's corrupt. You know what I mean? Like, now no one can really use his arguments, the new guy. But that's why I was bringing up all this, and it's kind of all tied into this one subject that justice is finally being served this week.
I think a lot of the election fraud is going to come out too from the 2020. So clearly, in the South, what was it?
It was the
Fulton County.
It was the Southern Poverty Center or something.
No, I was talking about Fulton County. So Fulton County is the county where they had all the briefcases hidden underneath.
Oh
the
yeah.
tables.
And then they were.
So Fulton County, they just got all their election records seized. And I think a lot of this shit's going to come out right before the election, so it proves Democrats, at least in that county, fucked the election results. So a lot of this shit's going to be coming out.
All right, this is hurting the shit on my face. Do you got any more?
Well, I didn't really have
You
any
could just switch masks.
The last thing I had was Todd Blanche, and I mean, the Iranians still have not surrendered. Have you guys got
It does
anything?
look cool though.
You guys got anything to say?
Iran understands that if they postpone everything, they could potentially win. It's the only card they hold.
Yeah.
It's the only one. But they're both
Also, I saw some of their gas lines were exploding.
Who?
That's pretty cool.
so pretty soon, yeah, the roads are going to be screwed.
They're really like.
So if they can't continue pumping, they're screwed.
Who?
The Iranians, the Iran war.
Oh.
You
Thing is,
predicted it'd be the same shit. You were right. It's the same shit right now, but they're literally. So what happens when you have nowhere to pump it is like it'll internally explode. It'll rupture. So
Yeah.
So some of their gas lines are literally like catching on fire. Whew. So they have nowhere to put them on. That thing fucking sucks. So we're gonna wrap it up. Any closing thoughts? Anyone you want to collab with? Fuck you all no more.
I just that's a lot of
Fuck that guy.
I just grokked.
She needs to go
That's
down,
why it's my
and then she
brother
needs to
gay.
get deported.
Didn't really give me.
Fuck that bitch who married her brother.
It won't.
What if they did to consummate that marriage?
Talk about gay shit. Or just give you some speech about why you're a bully or something.
Why I'm a bully? I just asked Claude why my brother's gay, and it just did not give me a great answer. It's just like it's not a choice. He's just gay. He's always going to be like that. And there's nothing I can do about it. Do you know?
It was great.
Ask Brock why you're retarded.
That's going to be a more complicated answer.
All right, who do you want to collab with?
Like a suicide.
I think it was all the lead paint chips he ate as a child.
Probably.
No, I'm not saying because you're actually retarded. It's just a funny answer. I did it. I asked Brock why am I retarded. And
That is funny.
Who do you want to collab with? Anyone?
I thought I was like depressed.
I know.
Hey, what?
Collab? Anyone want to collab with?
I want to go with.
Think about it for a second.
No, that's how we end every episode. We got to
I want to
collab.
collab with Kate.
Elon Omar, please collab.
Caitlyn Jenner's ex-penis to see.
Caitlyn Jenner, okay.
I want to collab.
You wanted to suck her dick? Or what?
I know it's off. I wanted to interview its ex-dick.
Interview the cocksucker? The cocksucker?
Yeah, I'm curious if it misses its own.
Be like a
You're
microphone.
curious about a dick?
All right, who do you want to collab with? Come on.
Collaborate with? You're talking about do a podcast with?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Alive or dead?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Live.
Alive. Oh.
I need something out of you guys.
How about the Pope?
the Pope? Okay,
That
get
fucker's
the
off
Pope
the
on.
rocker.
Who would I actually want to talk to right now?
Pam Bondi.
We need to bring it up.
I want to talk to.
Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue.
There's talks that she's a dude, actually.
You know what's crazy is she. Am I wrong? It was like the headline. She like fucked over 1,000 dudes.
1,000 guys. Isn't that what a dude would do?
Would your
I don't know anyone that would do that. That shit's alien.
All the guys came in with like a
Sounds
ski
like a
mask.
dude.
I'm like,
Yeah.
could you imagine?
would your
being-
dick touch either side? It'd
Imagine
be
being
like
number 64 or
or
something.
like
Yeah.
900
like a softball down the
Oh, yeah,
hallway.
1,000. That's
All right, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, like and subscribe.